What's up, all? It's Jacob here with AllDriveNoDrop, talking about the Joola Pro 4 14 and 16 millimeter Scorpeus. You got yourself the Anna Bright and Colin John's version. Basically just Anna Bright's 14, Colin John's is 16 millimeter. That's it. So let's get into it. It's $279.95, top of the end of the price range. These are out now for sale. They were pre-ordered before, but you can buy these now. Are they better than the Gen 3S? Are they the best in the Pro 4 lineup? These are questions that people want to know, and I'm here to answer them. So first, before we do anything, let's just talk about the specs real quick, and we'll get into the power numbers, the pop numbers, how they perform on the court, all that good stuff. Let's go. All right, let's jump into a quick breakdown. These are constructed the same as all the other Joola Pro 4s with their Gen 3 style with the diving board foam perimeter, and they also have the Tech Flex that is, you know, down lower in the paddle, a little bit of extra foam for a better sweet spot, better feel, which I do think it does have a better feel than the Gen 3S. Anyway, both of these are wide bodies, 16 by 8 inches, carbon fiber facing. And then we get to the weights. I got 8.1 for the 14 and 8.2 for the 16. You got a handle length of 5.25 inches, a grip circumference of 4.25 inches. Swing weights, 112 for the 14, 114 for the 16, and then twist weight 7.11 for the 14 and 7.35 for the 16. Let's get into how these specs stack up. Okay, if you haven't ever hit with a Pro 4 or a Gen 3S, these have some of the best top-end power in the game, and especially when you hit the sweet spot just right, and the sweet spot does tend to be a little higher on these paddles than other paddles, just the way it's constructed in the foam. It might take a little bit of time to get used to, but once you do, these balls just can be launched with the drives. These are a little bit softer than the Gen 3S. The 14 is definitely something that is on a little bit of a stiffer side, and it is very poppy. I would say it can be a little hard to control at first, but you can get used to it for sure. So the main difference, everyone wants to know, do I get the 16 or 14? The 16 is obviously going to have more power. It can be harder to control on drives just because it has more power. It's going to have a bigger sweet spot. It's going to be more stable. And for me personally, it has better control at the net with the dinks and the drops. You know, in the resets, I like it there. Now the 14. It has more pop, and it's a little bit more maneuverable. It has a little bit more room to add more weight and customization for it. It does feel stiffer, so if you like to have a little bit more connection to the ball, then that's where it's going to be. I think it can be easier to control on drives sometimes. The drops are harder for me with it. The drives were a little bit more consistent on like bigger strokes just because there's less top-end power, a little bit less to control there. So those are the main differences and really just how those two paddles play. To keep it simple, these are just really great wide bodies if that's your shape. They both can reset. They both have good sweet spots, you know, stacked up against the competition, plenty of spin for drives and serves. So just all around really great paddles there. And obviously on the pricier end, of course. And I'll show you my weight setups here and stuff I've been trying to do with these wide bodies just in general, just to figure out what the optimal weight setup is for those. So let's talk about the weight setups really quick. I have two recommendations, and I'm using Bodhi tungsten tape for my tungsten tape, so you can get that down in the description if you're looking for it. I've been doing different things with my wide bodies lately. I've been doing 8 inches of 0.5 grams per inch on the tungsten tape from the bottom corner to the top corner on each side. That has worked well. It has worked well. But the thing is, I don't know if it's really getting the maximum benefit that I'm looking for, because I'm looking to add a little bit more power. On these, you actually don't really need it. So what am I doing? I'm trying a 5-inch strip here of 1 gram per inch strip on the top. And what this does is it's helping the sweet spot on the top, which is, you know, generally the place people complain the most about wide bodies, but it's also giving it more power, which, you know, gets it up there, you know, trying to battle with the elongated Pro 4s that have more power than the Scorpeus. And I've been liking it. So try that. You know, you could try a 4-inch strip, you could try 5, 6 inch. And you could go with whatever density you want. I'm just trying the 1 gram per inch strip just to try it, and I've been liking it. For the 16, I think you could play it stock no problem if you didn't want to try this. For the 14, I would definitely recommend adding a little bit. I do like the 8-inch 0.5 gram per inch from the bottom corner to the top corner. Okay, so let's bring up the stats real quick for these two. The 16 was at 57.2 miles per hour for the power, which is measured by serve speed, and the 14 millimeter was at 56.7. You can see that stacks up pretty well here, with the Scorpeus kind of just going in there with the Pro Ultimate Power J2K Plus, more than the Vapor Power behind the other Pro 4 Perseus and Agassi and the Bantam TKOC. So really good power out of the 16 and pretty good power out of the 14 as well. And then if we sort by pop here, and then when we sort by pop here, you definitely got some good pop. The Pro 4 Scorpeus, you know, going to the top of the charts with a pop for the 14 millimeter at 37.9, and then the Pro 4 16 not far behind, and you know, up there was actually poppier than the Gen 3S for me. You know, it could come down to me getting better as well, just on the technique, and then some good twist weights and then some good spin as well for both of them, with the 14 getting 2215 RPM and the 16 getting 2305. So that's how the stats kind of are. Okay, so one thing I need to wrap up here in the conclusion that I haven't talked about yet is the handle length is 5.25 inches, right? You will, if you have like even average size hands, you will kind of dig into this edge guard a little bit, and the edge guard for some reason isn't as rounded. So just keep that in mind. If you do have big hands, the 5.25 inch handle, you might want to go with, you know, the Hyperion, the Perseus, or the Agassi if you want a longer handle. If you do like wide bodies and that's not a big deal for you for your two-handed backhands. I mean, I was hitting two-handed backhands fine. I just wanted to let you know the handle is a little bit on the shorter side, and that taper doesn't really give you much extra room there. But besides that, that's really my main complaint, is the handle length. I would like it to be slightly longer or have that taper be a little bit more narrow, but then you would get reduced twist weight. These paddles are super stable stock, you know, especially for the 14, and the combination of getting good dwell time, getting good pop and power on these paddles is just, in spin, you know, really a premier wide body power paddle, and for both of them. So definitely recommend these if you're looking for a slight upgrade over the Gen 3S, or you just are looking for a wide body and you haven't used a Joola yet. Then yes, these are at the top of the line, and I do recommend them if you are looking for a power paddle wide body. If you have any questions for me, please let me know, and please like the video if this has been of use for you, and subscribe to the channel. Helps me keep going. Thank you very much. Go play some pickleball.